right, we are going to go over multiplying and dividing rational numbers today. You've got to remember to use your rules of integers for multiplying and dividing because they also apply to rational numbers, okay? So let's review the rules. The rules are when you multiply fractions, you make sure they're in proper first, and then multiply them straight across, meaning across the numerators and across the denominators, okay? So make them improper and multiply straight across. Remember, dividing fractions, we also have to make sure that they are improper if needed, and multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay? So number 1 says 3 1/4 divided by negative 1 1/8. Well, it's a positive divided by negative. There's one negative, so the sign's going to be negative. And I'm going to make these both improper. That's 13 over 4 divided by, that's 9 over 8. Okay, now I have to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 8 over 9. And remember, I try to cancel if I can. That's a 1, that's a 2. And I get 26 over 9. And you can leave it like that from now on if you want, as long as it's reduced, or you can make it a mixed number if you'd like. So that would be negative 2 and let's see, 8/9. You can always check that too. You can multiply and get an improper fraction. So the next one is a negative times a negative. We know that when there's two of them, the answer is positive, so I really don't need these. And then you just take 4.8 times 5.2. And remember, there's one number behind the decimal here, one behind there, so we add these together and you get 2 that you move back at the end. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 4 plus 1 is 9. Here's a 0. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. That's 24. Add them together. That's a 6. That's a 9. That's a 4. And that's a 2. Move it back 2 places. And my answer is going to be 24.96. Okay? Next one. They just wanted you to see if you know what your signs are going to be. Okay? If we have a negative times a negative, we get a positive, so we don't need those. 1 times anything, you always get itself, which is 0.36. Okay, number 4. Negative times negative is a positive, so I don't need those. Okay? And they're already fractions, so I'm going to cancel. 9 goes into 18 2 times. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply straight across, and I get 16 over 25. The next one, this is negative 4 over 1. Okay? There's one negative, so the answer is going to be negative. And then we cancel that. It becomes a 1. That's a 4. We get negative 9 over 4. We can leave it like that, or you can write negative 2 and 1/4. Okay? You guys try number 6. I know it's going to be a negative, right? So make them improper. I'll help you out. Make them improper, just like number 1. Number 7. It's a negative divided by a positive. There's one negative, so we get negative. 10 is being divided by 22.22, but we can't divide by a decimal. Okay, there's a decimal in 10. We move it over 2 places. So this goes over 2 places, which is 1,000. Bring that decimal straight up. 22 goes into 100 4 times. That's 88. Subtract, I get 12. Drop down a 0. 22 into 120, I think probably goes 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. That's 11. So we get 10 left over. I'm going to add another 0. Drop it down. That's going to be another 4. That's going to be 88. And if you notice, we're going to get 12 again. So That's going to be a 5, so my answer is going to be negative 45.45, repeating. Number 8, it says negative divided by negative, so we know we don't need those. That's going to make them improper. That is going to be 45 over 8 divided by, that's what, 48 plus 7 is 55 over 12. Now we have to multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. And I always like to cancel if I can. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 4 goes into 13 or 12 3 times. 5 also goes into both of those. That would be a 9, and that would be an 11. Okay? So we get 9 times 3 is 27 over 22. You can leave it like that if you want, or you can make it 1 and 5/22. I'm going to let you guys do number 9. Number 10, it says, in a game of tug of war, your team changes negative 1 3/10 feet in a position every 10 seconds. What is your change in position after 30 seconds? That's what we're trying to find. Your change for 10 seconds is negative 1 3/10 feet. I want to ask you, how many 10 seconds are in 30 seconds? Well, if you take 30 seconds divided by 10 seconds, there are 3 of those. So we're just going to multiply this by 3. Make this improper. That's negative 13 over 3 times 3 is rational. It's 3 over 1. We have 1 negative. We know it's going to be negative. I can cancel that one, and I get negative 13 for my change. Okay? You're going to do the assignment, post it.